Hello. Did we miss the captain? There we go.
No, no, I tell you, honey, like I said, there's me and you. And and
Mm-hmm.
and what do people want to see when they see a show? It's like they want to see the glamorous, glorious, the first off the star of the show and somebody that's a hell of a lot better looking on screen than I am.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. This old lady loves hearing compliments. I can tell you
It's
that.
true. It's true. You know that. Come on now.
We are trying to look our best in the twilight of our years. So
Uh well, I got your Twilight. I'm just hanging on until such a time that's the expiration date hits, and I'm
mm-hmm.
trying to make sure that the expiration date doesn't hit for a while. But obviously, it's all God's plan, as they
Yes, it
say. And no matter
is.
who you call God, I'm not going to make a thing. If you call him Yahweh, if you call him Allah, if you call him God, if you call him Buddha or Muhammad or whatever, whoever your God is, it's his
Mm-hmm.
plan. And I just want to kick it for a while and see one more Lombardi or two
Oh,
if
that's
I'm lucky.
right. What? Just one more. But Captain, we are counting the gray hairs as the Raiders start to understand what 21st century football is all about. And this is our issue here with the
Yeah.
philosophy of the franchise and finding guys with the right vision, the right kind of scouting and assessment of talent. Man, I trade the LA Chargers for their scouting organization anytime. They just keep coming up with talent. Now, they never know what to do with it, and they're always shooting themselves in the foot. But I mean, we just haven't been that lucky.
Yeah,
And
and Asylum. I'm gonna get into that later when I have the proper segue. I'm previewing the segue. I'm previewing the segue. Okay, but we'll get to that. But for
well,
all those that can't get enough of Peggy, oh no, oh no. If you can't get enough of Peggy, you're gonna have another opportunity tomorrow. But we're gonna keep a little bit of that until later. I will say though, and this is what I
mhm,
was telling you pregame, that kind of the airs out of the sails. What y'all
mhm.
were your meat of the conversation just got reduced to a snack wafer.
Yes, it did. And let me say this about Marcus Peters. I mean, he was a guy I believe that the Raiders bought in because he could fill a hole, first thing, and they expected him to provide some veteran leadership on the field. But let's face it, we're always picking the wrong guys. We, we go out there in the free agent market, and it's like every bum volunteers to be a Raider, and all the good ones, other teams snatch them up. It happens so often. But I wanted to get started off by talking about your assessment of the three games with Pierce. Now, keep in mind, Pierce, Hardigree, O'Connell, we're talking about people with exactly 3 games of experience. Let's face it. And so I wanted to first talk about Pierce and your impression of him as a leader.
Oh, I mean, I like Pierce so much. Pierce reminds me of when John McKay was quoted, and a reporter asked John McKay, said, "What do you feel about the execution of your offense?" He says, "I'm all for it."
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, I would like to kill the entire, or like line them up on a firing squad and kill every. Now, granted, this was in the 70s and 80s when you can
Mm-hmm.
get away with things like that in the non PC world. He said, "I'm for it." But Pierce is of a mind that, and you were just alluding to it, okay? If you're not going to play
You
up
got
to
to go.
potential, You're out of here. I got no. It's kind of, and here's another analogy. It's my cousin Vinny. When he's done with the I got no use for this guy anymore. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're gone. You're gone.
It's,
This guy, I have no use for this guy anymore, and he's gone. And that's the way it was.
I
Is
mean,
if
Captain,
you're
it's
gonna play,
about
play.
yeah, it's about accountability. Something that's been lacking in this organization for decades. Unfortunately, certain people on this team need to be held accountable, and this is what Asylum and I are going to talk about tomorrow. That because Raider fans are into idol worshiping, you can't say a bad thing about them. But let's get back to who really should be held accountable is Brasillo and that O line.
Oh, well, the executioner's coming for him at the end of the season because I mean, honestly, uh, Antonio Pierce knows that you can't, that they've already thrown most of the bathwater out. And the baby was clinging to the sides, but they got the baby before they threw the baby out with the bathwater. And
Mhm.
Hardigree has to have somebody that he can bounce things across because, again, as you alluded to, this is still McDaniels' offense.
That's
This is
correct.
still McDaniels' players, and so he has to put square holes into round pegs or round pegs into square holes with what he's got on hand. Okay, so they they got to do what they got to do, and in order to do that, you got to have some continuity.
And see,
Okay.
it's even worse. What some fans don't understand is to insert your offensive system, you actually do need an off season. You need mini camps. You need workshops, webinars, film sessions. You need lots and lots of reps and practice to insert your new offense. I'm talking about audibles. I'm talking about play design, designing plays for the players you want to get open each play. Blocking, even down to the blocking schemes, blocking for the runners you have. You need an off season for that. And we're
Mm-hmm.
asking Hardigree to basically take McDaniel's offense that was here a whole year and a half and make it his own. And I assure you it's going to take more than 3 games. And it's going to take, especially on that O line. You can't, the O line is the center of the offense. And I don't understand why nobody listened to Joe Gibbs 40 years ago and nobody was listening to John Madden. What goes on in those trenches determines everything that happens in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And until that piece is fixed, everything you're doing is just band-aid action. You're just trying to do that. But Pierce, on the whole, I'm somewhat impressed by what I see in terms of holding people accountable. I think there's clarity.
Oh my
I
God!
think
Somewhat impressed from you is like
I
winning the
know.
lottery.
Notice I said somewhat impressed
But
because
still, anything positive out of your mouth
I know it.
it's like it's a winning lot. It might not be $1 million winning lottery ticket, but it's a winner. Okay, that
Mhm.
scratch off just won $1,000, baby. And for anything positive, saying like I'm somewhat impressed. That's great. That's gold. That's
I
gold.
know. And it's something that it's a process. And I'm glad we weren't like the Jets who just figured out that they should have went out and got a vet quarterback the minute Rodgers went down. They should have been on the phones trying to get Flacco or Ryan or Wentz or somebody in there. But no, oh no, they wait till game 11 to bench him, or for the third time in his 3-year career.
Mhm.
We're not like that. We understand there have to be changes made, but unfortunately, we got to work with the playbook that we have. And Hardigree stuck with that. And the other
Mhm.
part is, and Coaching is a chess game. Move, counter move. And if you're across from the grandmaster champion of coaches and you just have 3 weeks of coaching experience under your belt, well, he's going to have way more advantages than you'll ever have, even if you have 3 or 4 years to get something under your belt. Andy Reid is the grandmaster of coaches. And I don't understand why Raider fans were disappointed we didn't make adjustments. We knew we had to make adjustments. We just didn't know which ones to make. We just didn't have that kind of coaching experience on the sideline. It'll come.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with the grandmaster. Do you know in Sunday's game, the Chiefs inserted a new defense between the first and the second quarter? And I don't know whether anybody's seen this pattern over the years. They let us do anything we want in the first quarter. Have you noticed that? Because they're studying, analyzing, breaking it down, and by the second quarter, the Chiefs had started to attack our defensive weakness because they saw there was no pass rush, and so they began to exploit our zones. And this is something that has happened repeatedly, and no Raider coach has had an answer to it. Captain, do you remember anybody that's had an answer to what the Chiefs do, really, to every team?
Honestly, no, because again, if you're going to go back, because we're talking about Andy Reid, okay? Andy Reid's been a successful coach since he was, and I'm trying to remember what lineage he's from. Is he from the
I think he's out of the Walsh tree.
Yeah, okay, well, Walsh Holmgren, because I think he was there. So if you have the Walsh Holmgren tree, which Gruden's out of as well, okay, with and again, Holmgren is what I think. If you go Walsh, then Holmgren's kind of like the next under the lineage, and then you have Andy Reid, and and then you have the branches. Now Andy Reid's branches aren't really the greatest, kind of like the branches underneath.
Mediocre. No, they're not as bad as Belichick. Come on now.
I was gonna say
no, nothing could be that bad. Those guys have pathological personality problems. Okay, they need some time on the couch.
Yeah, and Doc Cabral said is from Walsh. So yeah, you got the lineage there. So those guys know how to attack. They know how to study. They know how to say, okay, this is what they're doing, so this is how you counteract that. And both Reid and Spagnuolo on the other side, they're both probably they're might not be the best, but they're top 3 in what they do.
Masters of the game. They understand this is about move, counter move. I see what you're doing. I move my people around, change my strategies to adjust. It took the Chiefs exactly 1 quarter to adjust to our defense. That was easy. Then it took them after halftime to adjust to our offense. No longer could we run. They were filling it with, they were doing interchangeable 6 and 7 man formations. And they were also doing run blitzes. And I don't know whether anybody saw how they shut down our running game. I mean, we managed like 32 yards in the second half.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was going to say, other than the JJ 63-yarder, I think he was averaging maybe 2 or 3 a pop. Because and the thing is, he broke through on that run. And then there was nobody, because I think they did have a run blitz. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think
they were run blitzing on that play.
They had a run blitz on that play, and when they popped through it, there was nobody left. So it
and
was
JJ, and this is where I'm going to give a sneak peek at my worshiping idols. And JJ saw the cutback lane. Okay, this is something that with his running style. that the reason why he's just a good back, not a great back. His vision. He cannot see it. When he gets that ball tucked into his belly, the first thing the great backs do is look. They don't run, they look. Just for a split second, because they want to see which way the blocking is going and if there's a lane. And in that case, the Raiders successfully sealed off that part of the line. That's why he was there. But he still needs a hole to run through. And that separates him from the good. But thank God he was looking for the cutback lane on that time.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it often. I think there are many games where he could have doubled his running output had he been looking for the cutback lane first. His vision, he runs to just put his head down like a bull and just run behind his blocking every single time. There's no daylight, and by game 12, you should know there's not going to be daylight behind your blocking, okay? So you have to be looking to reverse, see where the holes open up and be through them. And I just want to say that. I know our O-line, well, I'm not even going to talk about them anymore. So,
and like I said, you're all for the execution of the offensive line, at least the offensive line coach.
The coach goes first. He's got to go. That's the crime that he committed, and I know everybody in our audience is going to agree with me, was in that Charger game when he let his guy get blown up 6 times by Khalil Mack. I mean, come on. How many times does he have to do it before you say, oh, my guy either needs a technique check, or he needs to be moved, or he needs to be helped? I mean, how many times did it happen? That indicated to me we didn't have an answer. That's why he hasn't been executed yet. We may not have an answer.
I love the fact that there is some dissent here. And that's why we have people come in.
When you cut back, the blocking is already going to one side. I'm talking about being able to see where, as the line blocks to one side, where the openings are on the other side. You don't put your head down and go behind the blocking. A great back sees this. He sees it right away because his vision is great. That's what makes him a great back. Jacobs is a good back, and he doesn't always see it. He doesn't see. I went back and looked at the film of a lot of those games where he was held to 30 yards rushing, and I could see at least 5 plays where if he just gone in the opposite direction or went through the hole created by the block down, he didn't see it. Instead, he followed right behind his blockers, as he was probably trained to do at Alabama, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was trained to do that. Follow your blocking. And but in the NFL.
No, Mike Sarah, you're wrong. He does put his head down, which is why that's why
can't see when your head is down,
right.
Can't see.
And that's why he has been penalized with fines twice this year for putting his friggin' head down.
For headbutting.
Look it up.
He need the great backs, and I have reviewed films on lots of them. Peyton, Jim Brown, OJ. I mean, they always hesitate for a half second. Why? Because
they're waiting for the blocking and to be in front of them so they can figure out where to go next.
Exactly. They are not following their blocking. They are looking for the holes created by the blocking, and it's usually in the cutback lane. Every single giant run that I have seen comes from them going the opposite way of the blocking. And I don't understand that's how JJ got his 1,600 yards last year, but he's back to his old ways. I mean, that's the way he was raised. But now I want to talk about your grade for the units in this Chiefs game. And I know we got to talk about, I want us to talk about coaching first because I really wanted to this to be a coaching focused program. What I'm going to start out, I'm going to split it up with defense and offense. For defense, I give him a D. And for offense, I give Hardegree actually a C. The reason why I'm giving Hardegree a C is for even when the Chiefs were letting us have our way with offense in the first half, there was more continuity and crispness in his play calling. He's getting better. The other part is your young rookie quarterback was only sacked once, and he had no interceptions. Okay? His QBR was higher than Mahomes.
Yeah.
90.2. He did okay. All right. And that's why I asked the question when I wrote my after game summary. Oh, why did we lose this game? We ran for, Jacobs had 110 yards rushing. I mean, the Raiders had 0 penalties coaching. That's why I'm giving them a C. Whatever's going on, they've turned a focused corner that no team in the last 2 decades has been able to do. The Raiders had 0 penalties Sunday. Okay? Which debunks all those myths about the refs got it in for us, by the way. I mean, I'm sure they can. On the other hand, there were many uncalled penalties.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna tag you on that. There were penalties called, but they were offsetting penalties. Okay. And there were penalties that were not accepted.
Well, in this grand scheme of things, when you've been seeing for 20 years, 10 penalties, 8 penalties, 90 yards, 23 penalties. When I'm sitting next to my friend Captain Jack in Tampa Bay, did we not see a game with 23 penalties?
Yeah, we did. And
Okay.
that was the game that I told Buccaneers fans when Janikowski was going for what would have been the game winner in the fourth quarter, and people were walking out, and I'm like, no, sit back down. I says Janikowski has a very bad habit of botching game-winning attempts when it's X, Y, or there was a reason. It was either the length was this, or it was on the wrong hash mark, or something was there, and he botched it.
Well, I mean, that's what I talk about. Raider fans worshiping idols,
right?
I mean, we put these halos on these guys' heads, and as a matter of fact, they did a lot of things to help us lose a lot of games.
Yeah.
And if you really get down to it. But let's get back to why I'm giving Hardegree a C. I saw more crispness, more continuity. Of course, he had no answer in the second half when Spagnuolo threw the queen on him, okay? Right. To the grandmaster move on him. He had no answer. The only thing that I also want Raider fans to see, why is Davante Adams disappearing in the second half of every game? Don't tell me that it's play calling, because I didn't see that. I'm beginning to question. Okay, you might say Snead couldn't cover him in the first half, but the second half of the game, Snead all of a sudden locked him down, took him out. He had no catches in the second half.
He had no I don't even think he was targeted, but maybe 3 times in the second half.
Well, yeah, and I'm saying this to say it's a pattern now.
Yeah,
it's a pattern. He comes out blazing first quarter. Okay, everybody's trying to cover him, this, that, and the other. Still can't hit the end zone like I'd like. I mean, I'm waiting, but again, that'll come with time. I give the offense a C because I saw more crispness. They still didn't have an answer for Steve Spagnuolo's adjustments. The reason why I give the defense a D, the defensive coaching a D. Why are you acting like you are afraid of the Chiefs? Well, playing 10 and 15 yards off the receiver instead of doing the bump and run. Okay, because you're scared the guys behind you aren't going to be able to cover him if you come up close and bump. How many times are we going to use that excuse for not checking these guys at the line of scrimmage, especially Kelsey? We've never had
Kelsey. Kelsey is. I don't know any time, any game that we have covered Kelsey adequately. No game, and even the game in Kansas City where he had was it 4 touchdowns for 20 yards total?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were all close in stuff. Even then, we couldn't cover him when it mattered the most. I don't know when we will be able to cover Travis Kelsey, and he is so effing annoying. I'm just
tired of the State Farm commercials. I mean, I turn the volume off every time I see them. Well, it's disgusting.
Well, unfortunately I would. Well,
the
I don't have to. Yeah, you have to watch him. I only had to watch him Sunday because normally I'm at the game, so I don't have to worry about watching that crap. So as far as and I don't watch the Chiefs otherwise.
Yeah, the Chiefs are laugh at us all the time because they punk us. They've punked us every time they've seen us.
Right.
And I thought that Graham called a punk defense. I'm scared of you. So therefore, I'm going to make sure I keep everything in front of me, right? So you don't score. But they scored anyway.
Well, basically, he's calling like a zone, a prevent defense from the second quarter on.
Yes. And of course, Patrick, how many times has Patrick Mahomes seen that? Been there, done that. I mean, is this what you got? Is this all you got? Let me go dissect that.
Well,
that's what they did.
I will say the fact that I did like the fact that there were a couple times where they got through on what and it was kind of like what the God, this is gonna make me throw up in my mouth just even thinking about it. What the Tampa Bay fake Pirates did in the Super Bowl. That they had a spy and they kept Mahomes pretty much bottled up as they could. There were a couple times that our defense did that. The one time that Max got the sack on second effort, but they were kind of like they had a spy and they were making sure that he stayed within the pocket, which was good for the most part. And it very rarely did he run away from it. And then he ran in pursuit on that. So I did like that portion of it.
And wait a minute, the Chiefs only had 69 yards rushing, which makes it even more incredulous that a one-dimensional offense beat us by 14 points.
Yeah.
You see, those are the realities that we have to look at. That's why I give the D on coaching. Now I want you to talk about offense, and I'm going to let you talk about offense. What grade do you give them?
Well, considering what they have to work with, like you said, they have McDaniels' playbook, and somebody made and I don't know how correct it is, saying that McDaniels' playbook, 75% of it has been thrown out. That wouldn't surprise me, considering how ass backwards it is. They're actually using Mayer more. They're actually. I saw a screen pass. I'm like, oh my God, I saw a screen pass.
No, I did.
I haven't seen a screen pass in 3 years, right?
But of course you have to have guards to execute that, right?
Well, but it was
kind of in front of your screen, right?
But they did use it though. It was a screen pass. And it wasn't a bubble screen. It was an actual screen pass to Jacobs. I've seen the bubble screens, but I like the fact that they were coming out of their element and doing things that we were not doing in the past. What I can't stand, and it was remarked in some of the things I was reading about the game, is how many times we run on first down, again and again and again and again and again. And then when you take that fact and also when you have a 4th down, okay, and I understand it, you have to go for it on 4th down because you're down 2 touchdowns. I get it. Why, in the name of God, and I'm sorry I have to evoke God again on this one, why do you run Jacobs into a middle of a pile in the
No,
middle?
why does Jacobs run into? See, this is the thinking. When you have idols, you don't think they have any weaknesses. Okay, we have established that the O line has trouble penetrating and moving that D line back. They've had the trouble all season long. So we already know that. Why is Jacobs following the blocking instead of just a half a second hesitation to see where the actual hole is going to be? And maybe he's thinking he doesn't have that kind of time. Maybe they're penetrating so quickly, being down on the field at field level view. I'm not going to second guess that, just like I'm not going to second guess Pierce for going for it from 4th down. But here's where I think the Raiders' offense problem is. They don't have any plays, and McDaniels didn't have them either, that attacks the middle of the field, that attacks the linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you do that effectively is with a slot or a tight end. Those linebackers don't feel any discomfort about at the snap of the ball stepping into the gaps. So instead of 4 guys to block, now my O-line has 7. Okay? You need to give them a reason not to take that step towards the line of scrimmage. You need to put something in their mind. And what you put in their mind is the horror of having a pass completed behind them, but in front of the safeties. And of course, if you're designing the play properly, there are no safeties. The middle of the field is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any plays to attack it. Why did you get Hooper? Why do you have Meyer? Use them to attack the middle of the field. If you want to take them out of their 6 and 7 man fronts, you have to give them a reason not to step into those gaps at the snap of the ball. They have no reason. Why? They ain't worried about what's going on behind them. Because there ain't nothing going on behind them. They've looked at the film. They see the Raiders have no players to attack the middle. That's what I have a problem with the offense, and it was with McDaniels too. Gruden did a much better job of attacking, and he did with Waller. That's what he did. He gave him a reason to worry. Like, do I have to cover somebody this play? Can't do that. You especially the outside linebackers. You ought to turn them into just, wobbling messes of indecision with your play calling and your play design. And we haven't been able to do that. That's why they feel free to step in. One of the reasons they feel free.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like I said, it's one of these things, ladies and gentlemen. I say ladies and gentlemen because we got China in here as well. Okay, there's really nothing that is going to be done in 2023 and the first month of 2024.
True.
Okay, as I said, this is an extended preseason for next year to seeing who can do what and put things on film and see who can execute X, Y, and Z. Okay, but you have to understand that you're executing on another guy's playbook
with another guy's personnel,
and a shitty offensive line coach that's going to be gone. Okay.
But more importantly, the talent level. You see that they have talk about accountability. They have no one to replace Illuminor, Parham, or Mumford.
Well,
than the worst
but
three guys on the line.
right, and that's going to have to take place in 2024 and 2025. I actually think that there are cogs there. Like I said, James needs to be replaced at center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I used to think that now if you use capabilities with personnel with scheme, and the scheme is
Mm-hmm.
the operative word here. With scheme, Parham would be a better center in that scheme of a center that can move, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and can be used better than James, because James is bigger, but he's not a mover. But you got to figure out what your scheme is going to be. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
said there will be changes in the offensive line and obviously in the offense. Will Hardigree be the OC? No.
Probably
And
not.
and for all those people that are saying, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance, he is actually doing well with what he can do. But
Right.
this is an audition for him to later on get that OC position. It ain't happening next year. I don't think that the Raiders are going to say, "Hey, Bo, you're going to be our OC. Come up with an offense. Come up with an offense," because I don't think he can do it. But he's going to
Mm-hmm.
play. He's getting his what is it? He's making his bones,
Mm-hmm.
or he's in the process of. The Raiders will go after,
Mm-hmm.
at least God, I hope they do. They will go after an established offensive mind, and that's why I'm like, Frank Reich just got fired.
Yeah, and of course, we can debate all day why a so-called offensive guru, quarterback whisperer, like Reich, but I heard that Reich said he's done.
Well, I,
He's
I
got
haven't
he,
read up,
yeah,
but
well, he's got two paychecks coming in, right? Because the Colts are still paying him.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, if I had the time off right now, and for those that obviously don't know, I'm not working, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have the time off right now. I love the time off. What I don't like is not getting paid.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly,
well,
exactly.
Frank
The
Reich,
dollars.
Frank Reich is on vacation and he's getting two paychecks. I can sit
Hmm.
my happy ass and go drink pina coladas on a beach somewhere,
Oh
you
yeah, he could
know.
take an extended vacation. But let's get back to your grade for the defense.
The
And
defense.
let me talk. I'm back to my talk about sacred cows again. As
Hey,
much as
hey,
I
hey,
love,
watch that. I've lost a little weight.
yeah, that's true. Now I'm not referring to you. You won't be eaten if you're sacred.
Oh,
So,
well, we got to talk about gout too. I got gout now too, Peggy. So I
well,
got to figure that one.
oh yeah, you got to figure that one out. No, Max Crosby. Now, America admires their warriors
Yeah.
who, wounded, can go into the battle and, still save the day. In football, if you hurt, you ain't saving nothing. As a matter of fact, you're creating problems. And I watched carefully at what was going on that D line.
Mm-hmm.
Once Crosby ceased to be a problem for the Kansas City offensive line, which holds on all their plays, by the way.
Thanks for adding that. That was
Uh,
important information.
but look, we're not the only people they do that. If you saw what happened to Minnesota in the last minutes of the game, I mean, the refs just have a hard on for Kansas City, but we've seen them do it for the Patriots too. So
Yeah.
but let me say this: if you have a bad wheel, a bad knee, okay, you're staying in there and being the hero and the everyday guy, the Cal Ripken of the NFL, never missing any games. Sometimes you don't help; you hurt.
Yeah.
And in this case, a lot of times, some of the DTs were sliding over to actually help Max.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, he couldn't lock that edge down because he was injured.
Right. And that's the other point that I wanted to make as well, is that There's a difference between playing hurt
Right.
and playing injured.
Mm-hmm.
You can play when you're hurt. That's the chutzpah. I am hurt, but I'm going to play because it's my team, and you do that
They
for your
need
teammates. You
they
play when you're
need
hurt,
me. Uh-huh.
right?
Go
Right.
ahead.
But if you're injured,
Which Max is injured.
Max is injured. Don't play with an injury. It's not going to get any better, and it's likely to get worse.
And we need you for the roughest part of our schedule. A bye week was coming up.
Yeah.
If you had taken, you would have 2 weeks to rest the knee if you had to play Sunday. But
Yeah.
no, the inmates run the asylum. And let me also say, and this is talking about our retired NFL players. A lot of those players that did what Max did over and over again, playing injured, Captain, to your point, not hurt, are now on canes limping their
Right.
third knee surgery at age
Yes.
50.
Yeah.
Max has to think about his future.
Right.
He needs to be better for us in the future. That's why you sit out when you're hurt. But as a result, the defensive line just disappeared. Didn't hear
Right.
nothing from Nichols, Tillery.
Well,
Wait a minute.
wait a second. Nichols played his ass off at times.
At the run. On the run, yes. I'm sorry, Nichols.
I had to jump you on that one because I heard his name quite a bit. And
Well,
I'm
I'm talking about pass rush, okay? I mean,
like,
I'm confined to pass rush
okay.
because if you don't have Crosby out there, you have 0 sacks.
Right.
We're back to the 1 sack a game thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you absolutely. This is why we need an off season.
Yeah.
I mean, you went and passed on a generational defensive tackle. No, you're never going to. I'm never going to stop talking about why didn't we draft Carter. I don't care about his behavior problems. When you have a stallion, he's going to be difficult to control. Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta have the toughness. Pierce could control him.
Well, that's therein lies the rub, as Shakespeare would say. If Antonio Pierce was the head coach at the time during the draft, we would have drafted Carter
Hell yeah!
because Pierce would have told him hell, come on, I do worse than a hell yeah. Come on. Antonio Pierce would have sat as happy as now and said, listen, this is the way we do things. Yes, we are the Raiders, but we do things smart. We do things to help the Shield and our brothers, and we do all of those things. We don't go out and be the reckless, abandoned Raiders of old. This is a newer, smarter team that still plays with the power and the emphasis of the Shield. You will be doing X, Y, and Z. And Carter would have said, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Pierce at the helm. And that's the difference why they said we can't afford to have somebody that was going to be, I don't know, maybe come off. And God, this is still sickening to even think about. You just got taken off the IR and you go out and have a DUI the day you got taken off the IR, okay, and get put on the active roster. Bye, Roderick Teamer. You had a 12-week fucking vacation, excuse my French, okay, getting paid, a 12-week paid vacation. And you were stupid enough to do stuff like, I mean, the players are still there. The players are still there. We got to get rid of all of the dead weight.
And the immature ones that can't seem to control their off the field activities, I mean, they're obviously distracted anyway. They're not playing their best ball. But I'm just saying that the future, a guy like Crosby should not be telling the coaches what to do. That culture has changed for the Raiders. We
Mhm.
have to have someone, and I was surprised that Pierce was prevailed upon to let Crosby play. And the other part of that is look at what Spillane did. He was questionable, but he was only what was the word, Captain? Hurt.
Yeah, he played. And therein is the difference in between playing hurt and playing injured.
And he had a great game, 10 tackles, 6 solos. I mean, a couple of plays blown up at the line of scrimmage by with him in assistance. So, I mean, he helped because he could. But when you're injured, you can't.
Right.
Your body won't let you do what you do. And the Chiefs, not being worried about that edge anymore, they ceased to be concerned about anything by the third quarter and were doing whatever they wanted. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I on defense, and then of course, just playing 15, 20 yards off of Chiefs wide
Yeah,
receivers.
the scheme has got to change on
What
that.
is that? A prevent? Is that
Yeah.
some form of a prevent? Graham loves that prevent, doesn't
Yeah, I tell you what, the I think the prevent prevented them from maybe laying 40 on us by
he?
being in that. They won by what, 14. We had 7. What was it,
Well,
31?
31
Right.
is a number. It's
Right,
more,
right, but
more
still
than
they
they
could.
got on the Dolphins.
Right,
Okay.
right, and that's what I'm saying. That I think that it was, and yeah, you have it right. That he was afraid of the number that the Chiefs were going to lay on us, and we played
Mhm.
a better defense against a better offensive team the week before. And I am on record. I said the Raiders were going to win the game on Sunday based upon what I was looking at.
Miami was a real test for that defense, and I thought they came through well. We
Yeah.
were in that game right down to the final minute.
Yes.
And that wasn't supposed to happen at all against a more powerful. And Miami's the number one offense. The Chiefs are number 9.
Yes.
We give up 31 to number 9 and
And
20.
20 to number 1.
Go figure.
But it is divisional, and divisional games are different.
Yeah, they are different. No, the Chiefs have no respect for us. And
And
you can
and
see it on
and,
their faces every time they play us. Sir Frog with this look on his face, this
oh
smirk.
God, somebody please. I
Oh,
won't condone murder, but somebody just kind of like take them and just bit slap them continuously for about 15 minutes. Okay, that's what I would do.
no,
I mean,
what you need to do is beat him.
I would get
Okay.
arrested for it, but I'd
He
love to
looks like
do
he's
that.
going to cry when he's losing.
Yeah.
He is such a punk. He absolutely looks like he's going to cry when he's losing. When
Yeah.
he gets frustrated, starts forcing the ball in, throwing interceptions, because he just doesn't know his little street football style doesn't work. He actually falls apart.
And he's like, and I'm going to throw up again for saying this. He's like Brady in that respect. When he doesn't get his glitter and glitz, and when he gets, handed to him, and the game isn't as easy as it should be, because it's like,
Mhm.
I'm Tom Brady, I'm Patrick Mahomes. Don't they know who I am and what I can do and how awesome I am because I read my own press clippings?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
punch him in the mouth, literally,
But we don't have
punch him in the
but
mouth,
we
and
don't
he will lose his shit. He will lose
I,
his shit.
I can't emphasize enough to Raider fans. If we want to beat the Chiefs, first we have to stop being scared of them
Mm-hmm.
and stop playing defenses where you stay 15 yards off of the wide receivers.
We have a
Pass
Peggy
rush.
freeze. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. We need our Chris Jones.
Yeah.
We have it.
Well, let me add. See this bring, and maybe I'm kind of blowing your script because I don't know what your script is. Although the NFL is scripted, so
Mhm.
you can't say that this show is scripted because I don't know what you got. I don't know what Peggy has thrown at me because it's always a surprise, and I throw stuff at
Mhm.
her that's a surprise, which is why we have fun with this. Okay,
Mhm.
so we know Brasillo has got to go. Okay.
Definitely. We can that's a great segue into what I wanted to end up with is talking about next year.
Right. Okay. And they're in there. So we know we're going to upgrade to an offensive coordinator that is a true offensive. And like I said, nothing against Bo Hardigree. He's just not there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
He's in training to do the job eventually. Remember, Shane Steichen was a quarterback or an offensive assistant who became a quarterback coach, who became an offensive coordinator, who became a head coach. It's all in the line of where you go. Okay. Bo Hardigree is doing the job of an OC, but he's like 2 levels above where he needs to be on the pecking order right now, which is
Mhm.
good because he has that experience. But we need a real offensive coordinator, and Bo can go back to being a quarterback coach in with OC and training, maybe for us and maybe for somebody else. But so we know we're going to improve there. We're going to have a new OC. I know that Peggy will be outside of Raiders headquarters with a shotgun saying, "Give me Brasillo," because if his ass ain't packed, if his ass ain't packed on January, whatever the hell the last game, the
Get the
Monday,
U-Haul ready. I
I
mean,
said,
you got to
and
go.
you'd even get it. You'd even get the you all there and say, pack yo shit and go.
And the
Okay.
problem I have with Brasillo, I know he don't have no talent. The fact that they made it out of preseason, knowing they didn't have any talent, uh, and a glass quarterback, they plan to start a glass, all part of just McDaniel's just messy mind. But now they haven't gotten any better.
Yeah.
That's my problem. My problem is not that you're not that good. It's that you haven't improved.
Yeah.
12 games later, my guards are still getting blown up. I mean, you're just leaving them out there, just leaving them out there. That mentality, that Bill Belichick mentality is still there with Brasillo. Just leave them out there to hang and flap in the wind and not. Why aren't they improving? Just a little bit of improvement. Now, the last couple of games, he's started to find a little running room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, I can get there.
Wow. Positives from Peggy on that. Okay.
I'm not gonna. The last couple of games, he's been finding a little running room. And oh, by the way, I was arguing with people about whether Colton was there or not. I couldn't tell. They played terrible with and without him, and y'all know that.
That's true. That's true.
Y'all know that this O line has been playing like garbage from day one, and Colton Miller was healthy as an ox. So don't say that they're playing bad now. This is what I'm talking about: idols, worshiping idols. We project things onto players that just aren't true about them. The O line has been garbage since preseason, and it continued to be garbage every week. They couldn't protect the quarterbacks, or we couldn't get any running game started with Colton there. So whether he's there or not, it's the whole scheme, it's the whole system, it's the coaching. It's the coaching. And
Okay.
somebody asked me if we wanted what's his name? Who's the O-line coach? God, the name is on the tip of my tongue. He was at Seattle for a little while and then came back under Gruden. Was our
The
former coach.
cable. Cable.
Somebody jokingly asked me, "So you want Tom Cable back?" I said, "I'll take him."
Wow.
I'll take him.
Wow. That
Anything to get Brasillo out of here.
man, that's harsh. If you take a flyer on Tom Cable,
Absolutely. At least his lines improved over the season. They didn't get much better, but they got better. This line is, it's gradually maybe, but you can't count on them. I think actually this game against Kansas City was probably their best game of the year. I said it.
Wow.
I mean, they protected the quarterback. See, they usually can't do two things at once. You know, they can't, what do they call it, rub their tummy and pat their head. They haven't been able to do that all year long, right? This time, they actually did both decently.
Yeah.
No sacks. I mean, excuse me, one sack. And he wasn't pressured into throwing INTs. So we can see some things are happening. Hardegrieves steadily moving in there. We just got to be patient. We got to understand teams like Kansas City are going to beat us every time because we're not built to win championships.
Well, let me ask them, because this is the $1 million question. Because you know the O-line coach is going to go.
Okay.
The $1 million question is this,
Graham.
Well, I'm getting there. I know
keep him. I want to keep him.
That's the next question.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a new O-line coach, is it
and
the coaching?
OC.
And new OC, a new O-line coach. Is it the coaching, or is it the players there in front of them too?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying that the personnel is rotten. I mean, to the core. I mean, I don't even know why Illuminor and Mumford are even in the pro game. I think it's because of a need for bodies.
I think that Mumford has upside. I really do. I think Mumford has upside based upon his lineage and based upon his capabilities and his size. I think he has upside. And boy, I will rarely, if ever, give platitudes to the Ohio State University.
That's right, the Ohio State.
Rare. I mean, it makes me throw up. And considering I have bronchitis and I'm not coughing hysterically on that one, I will say that Mumford has capabilities. Okay, I would keep Mumford, right, because you got something to work with. And but then it goes like, who else on this O-line are you keeping, Peggy? Because you can't scrap it in one season.
Parham in particular has been an extreme disappointment. Makes me almost wonder if he's playing with a chronic injury. I mean, he has regressed so badly. But all three of them that I named, I mean, if you look at the film of how they're getting blown up, people are just tossing them aside and continuing on to the quarterback. I'm not talking about blitzes and delayed blitzes and 6-man and 7-man fronts. I'm talking about the guy right in front of him.
Hat on hat.
Hat on hat, being tossed aside like rag dolls. And that ain't supposed to happen to a pro O-lineman. You're at least supposed to stand your ground. Okay? If you can't get push, you at least supposed to be able to keep people from getting by you, at least until the ball is out. Okay? I mean, theoretically, that's why they're there, right?
Yeah. And that's why I said you can't get rid of everybody in one season. You can't do it unless you have a draft where you trade back and acquire more picks. Because look at this is it, folks. You need every pick in this next draft. One of them is going to be a quarterback. One of them is going to be a quarterback.
That's a shame because our real need is to shore up the trenches.
Right. Well, one of them is going to be a quarterback, but every other pick I can tell you should be offensive line and defensive line, interior. Offensive line from tackle to tackle, and defensive line interior with maybe a flyer. on a defensive end that shines maybe in a lower round,
Right. End is not our problem.
I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're
Have we
gonna
had
go there,
enough of that?
if you're
We
gonna go
don't
there, no, no,
need
no,
ends.
Peggy, you didn't hear me. I said
Go ahead.
maybe on a flyer that drops that
Okay.
when you do BPA, okay, and it just so happens that said player drops to you and he is ready, like, oh wow, we got him and he's available, okay. Kind of like what Mayer was when we got him in the second round, because he
That was a
was
steal.
a first round talent that we got in the second round. So if something like that happens on an end, I'm not saying we draft an end on
Nah,
purpose.
you're a BPA guy. I listen
Well,
to
but
y'all,
the
but
but the
I got
BPA at
needs.
BPA it needs, and my needs are left to right tackle offense.
Good luck with the right tackle. Go ahead.
What? Okay, left
You
to
know
right
we've been
tackle
trying
on
to fill that
offense.
position for 20 years.
Well, but that's why I'd say keep Mumford, because he can slide to a guard. He's got that potential. Better than Illuminor, better than Park. I don't know why Parker still has a contract. I think he has incriminating photos of Mark Davis. That's kind of like, that the guy that.
And nobody is talking about Andre James.
Oh,
The
I
center.
am. I am. He needs to go. We should have had Morrissey at center years ago.
Well, the other things, one of my gurus told me that in general, he felt like the Raider O-line's problem is that they were undersized.
They
That
are undersized.
we don't have the 330s, the 320 guys like we used to have on that O-line. And I said, you know what? I never thought about that. But being undersized does put you at a disadvantage. There's no question about that. That they're one of the reasons they're getting blown up is because they're undersized.
Yeah, well,
And
it's kind of hard to block Chris Jones when you're about 50 pounds below his size.
I know it. But there again, what were the New England gang thinking? What were they thinking?
They were thinking the New England way.
Right.
They were
Little
thinking
undersized, little like I remember when Denver and Dallas stuck with the flex, and Buffalo stuck with the flex defense, even as O-lines were starting to weigh 300, 310, and 320 pounds. They still stuck with defensive ends that were 260 pounds. You know?
And Cool Kev throws one at you. You answered the question about his cutback claims. They're not there because the guys are getting blown the fuck up.
No. Let them get blown up in front of you. You're looking for ways out. You're looking for the escape hatch, the break glass in case of emergency, because you already know your O-line can't block. You already know that before you even get the ball. So you're looking for escape. Some running room somewhere along the line of scrimmage. It don't have to be where the pile is, Jacobs. Why are you joining the convention?
Actually, this is one of the things that I love about Mrs. Captain on the shows. She go and it's like, and I try to explain it to her. She goes, "Why does he run where all the people are? He just run into the pile." And I'm like, "Well, there was a scheme and there was a play, and it was supposed to. He just run into everybody, run around them." And because my wife, my wife,
but it's not about around them. Yeah. It's more like having the vision at the time that you get that ball.
Right.
And I watched OJ, I watched Peyton, I watched him, I watched the great ones, Barry Sanders. I watched how it was just a hesitation. And I know it's because they were looking. They were scanning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it just happened for about a half second to a second. But once they made a decision, this is the way I'm going, it was Jets.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's the difference between good backs and great backs. Don't keep telling me the O-line ain't blocking. A great back doesn't tell me that. Okay, there are going to be games where your O line is going to get blown up. That's a given any season. You're going to meet people with superior D lines. So what do? You know, this is what I'm trying to say is that we need to stop making excuses about this thing, just like Adams needs to stop disappearing in the second half. And I mean, but now looking for the future, if you're drafting Captain round one, I don't want to hear about BPA. I
No,
know
no, no. I'm not telling you
BPA.
BPA. No, I'm not telling
Okay.
you BPA.
Oh, they've got let's say something we don't need. A running back, the best running back in the country. He's the best player on the board. Let's take him, even though we don't need him.
No, I don't want a running back.
All right. Round one.
Round one. Depending upon where we draft, I think we're going to be drafting top 12. I think let's go top 12.
Round one.
Okay. I'm taking, and I know you're going to jump on me.
You get two choices because again, you got to see who's available when it comes to a turn. Go ahead.
I'm taking one of the QBs that everybody's talking about that's not named Caleb. Listen to me, Peggy.
Go ahead.
I'm taking one of the QBs not named Caleb Williams that's available if he's available. Okay. It depends on how far down we drop. Especially if it's Jaden Daniels and this is assuming, because I have to take a leap here, this is assuming that Pierce is our head coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is assuming that Pierce is our head coach. Okay. I'm taking Jaden Daniels because he has that rapport with Antonio Pierce, or a monumental quarterback that can do all of the things that we need, because I like the kid that we got, but you got to have somebody that's going to make people say the Raiders finally got a quarterback. But considering I don't think that any of those activities are going to be happening, so Asylum's like, no, Asylum. Okay. I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm taking the best interior defensive tackle, terror, or the best, like, what do you call the lineman that win the Outland Trophy winner?
Mm-hmm.
The best offensive lineman. I'm taking the meat. The best meat product available in the first round, in the first pick. I'm taking meat that's going to help me either protect the quarterback, blow people up, or if I'm taking an offender, I'm going to go after the quarterback. That's what I want.
I gotta run. My somebody's here, so we're gonna continue this conversation next week. Just a minute. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, next week, are we gonna do next week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. And sorry you got to run, honey. And thank you for being here.
You. All right. Bye.
All right. There you go. Peggy got to go, so you got me. Okay. We are going to continue this. Okay. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Leatherwood was the Outland Trophy. Okay, Mike, sir. So yeah, some guys bust. Who was the guy that was the Outland Trophy winner for the steroid dude? I can't remember his name. He was the guy that Tony Mandrich. Tony Mandrich was an Outland. You sometimes you lose. Okay. Sometimes you lose out on that, but I'm taking the best offensive lineman. I'm taking the best defensive lineman with the intangibles that you can do that. Okay. And Anna Diaz, thank you for being here. Yes, the Desert Raider. I had him. I had him before you put it up there, Desert. I had his name, Tony Mandrich, the bust. The incredible bust that he was, but I need the best lineman, offensive and defensive, in the first round. That's what I don't need a running back. I don't need a wide receiver. If the quarterback drops to me, I'm going to take him though. Okay. That's what I had. And thank you for being here. And Anna, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you were okay. Blessings, like I said, and I will say this again because Anna said it. For those that give plasma and blood, thank you for doing that because there are people that need it, and I thank you for it. I'm going to be here for a while. Quarterback, we still have to compete with Mahomes. Well, yeah, I like I said, if one of those quarterbacks drops, especially if Antonio Pierce is our head coach, and I hope he is, we need to have a better offensive coordinator. I mean, I'm talking somebody that's reputable, somebody that's worthwhile. Okay? And don't turn the keys over to Jim Harbaugh. Don't do it. Jim Harbaugh is going to go to Chicago anyway, and he's going to bring Ron Rivera with him. Okay? That's my take on that. And Peggy is on fire. 2 weeks, we will continue the conversation because it'll be a bye week and then another game, and then we'll talk to Peggy again after the game that we have against the Vikings. And I'll be in Vegas for that. That'll be a remote from Vegas because I'm staying out there for that week. So it won't be here. It'll be the Vegas background because I will be in Vegas from the Vikings to the Thursday game against the Garglers. I will be out there. So again, blessings to everybody. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I think that and thank you for putting that. If you want to see more Peggy, okay? If you want to see more Peggy, you can see more Peggy tomorrow during the cage match show with Asylum. It's the cage match show with Asylum and Oakland Raiders Savage. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I don't do him justice. And I'm glad I actually can do that because I've been coughing so much. I'm not right right on cue too. Right on cue too. Bronchitis and coughing up the yin yang. But I've been I'm taking meds and I'm taking calamansi and honey and hot water and I'm getting better. So I didn't watch the Monday night game. So I don't know. I don't know. If they look bad, then but they have a week. Oh, actually, I think aren't they on a bye too? Or don't they have a bye like we have a bye? Dana went to Disneyland. Good. Okay. Anyway, cage match tomorrow with Asylum and Oakland Raider Savage. I'm not going to do the Savage voice. It's going to make me cough again. The bronchitis is almost gone. Here's the new one. Captain Scott, the gout, and it's something that I haven't had to deal with ever, and it's painful. So that's on top of everything else. On top of everything else that I have, now I got to deal with gout. So that means I really, really, really got to change my diet. So hopefully you guys will help me with that. Anyway, anybody that pickle juice, okay. Oh yeah, Gabe. Anna has some debilitating issues that she deals with. Yeah, the red meat. I know, Desiree. It's yeah. It's kind of like saying don't breathe. I know. Um And again, thank you, Anna, and blessings to Anna. I love Anna. I love Anna to death. So again, if you want to talk, and we still got some show time left, I will. If you come in and talk, we'll talk. If not, I'm gonna end the show. I'll put the link up. Whatever you want to talk about. And again, one thing that and I alluded to it earlier was the big cage match, which Asylum and Peggy were going to get into it tomorrow. Now it's fizzled because and this is what I was, and I'm this is not a destruction. They were going to talk about Marcus Peters and why in the foxtrot is Marcus Peters still on the team? He's not on the team anymore. He's not on the team anymore because the Raiders figured out if you are a piece of crap. I got Peggy hit me up. So I gotta put that. We'll see Peggy in 2 weeks, but remember you can watch Peggy tomorrow on the cage match. Look, hey Asylum, drop your what do you call it? Your link to your YouTube show. Drop your link to your YouTube show. Yeah, no, it's not toe, it's in the ankle. My gout is in the ankle. It's not in the toes, it's in the ankle. It hurts more in the ankle. So I gotta yeah. And again, blessings to all of our folks that are hurting. And thank you for all your kind thoughts. So again, I looked, it said gout, big toe. I don't have the big, I got in the ankle. It hurts like a bitch. It hurts like a bit. It's horrible. So, oh, we're gonna get a medical opinion. We're gonna get a medical opinion. We're gonna have Doc Cabral come on, and then we have a Mike Sarah sighting. Oh my goodness, we had a Mike Sarah sighting. Thank you, Mike Sarah. Mike Sarah's gonna come in after we get with Doc Cabral, because Doc's gonna talk to me about gout. Doc, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Jay, my brother, you got the gout, huh?
I got the gout. Yeah,
You
it's
got
better than the
arthritis?
clap.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh God. And you know what, Jay? You had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there. You no tolo on this show, okay?
When you have something that is you have the something, when you have the gout is better than having the clap,
Oh God.
right?
Jesus God, man. Really? You gotta go there, man. Look,
It's
let's have a
true.
little.
It's true.
Hi, Jay. How are you? What
Uh-oh.
happened?
Oh, Doc, where did you go? Doc, okay, Doc left for a second.
Hold on. I'm
There you
here.
go. Doc, you popped out for a second.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
brother.
I'm
What's up?
sorry. You tell me now. Is it your? Are you having crystals, crystallizing your blood, or what are you having?
I don't know. I just know that my ankle is very painful. I have a what do you call it? An X-ray scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah, VA.
I have an X-ray scheduled for Thursday at the VA, so I will take care of that, and then hopefully the VA will start paying me the money they need to pay me.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah.
here's what I would do if I were you. Make sure you talk to your dietitian and make sure you pay attention.
Well, I got to find a dietitian. Apparently, I got to start eating a lot of different things.
Try to TRICARE for that one, okay? Don't go through the VA for that one. Go through TRICARE.
I'll go through TRICARE. I got things I got to do. It's not like I'm working.
Look,
Yeah.
listen. And by the way, how anything in the back door to that one yet?
Nope. Issues with the clearance.
Sorry.
Yeah. But
If I get
talk to me about non-medical issues. Talk to me about because Gabe wants to know about how you can let Tommy DeVito, Tommy fucking DeVito, beat you on a game. How you letting this Jersey boy, Tommy fucking DeVito, who fell off the back of the truck, beat you, Doc? How'd he beat you?
I think Bill's slacking intentionally.
Okay.
He is. He's let us drag. I think he's gonna try to talk Robert Kraft into getting rid of Mac Jones. He ain't letting him go. He paid good money for Mac Jones. He's not letting him go that quick. Um, Mac Jones is a good QB. What he needs is a good coach that can work with him. I mean, I feel bad for who he is right now. It's not fair to Bill what happened to him. He deserves better. But the thing is, he's not being given a free shot for the Tom Brady. What he did with Tom Brady,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. And you can't repeat with another quarterback what you do with one quarterback because they're every one of them are built differently. Tom Brady was a typical public school kid who went from public school to the University of Michigan. He played behind a couple of good quarterbacks, but when he was brought in, he did miraculous stuff for Lloyd Carr. Lloyd Carr was his greatest achiever for him to get him a job as a quarterback in the NFL. If Bill Belichick hadn't talked to Lloyd Carr that day, they may not have taken him.
Yeah, and that's why. And that's why. Was it somebody was saying? Do I and Mike? Don't go away. Don't go pop away. We're gonna have Mike
Hi, Mike.
Sarah on after we talk with Doc. We have Mike Sarah on after we talk with Doc, and it's great to see Mike Sarah because he's come in on phone before. It's his first time on video. But
Cool.
yeah, and I agree. It's like if and they were talking about if Harbaugh was our coach, he'd take McCarthy. I'm like, I don't want McCarthy as the quarterback. No,
No,
no.
no,
I want a
no.
real quarterback. McCarthy is a Big Ten quarterback, and other than Tom Brady, who is the aberration, quarterbacks from Michigan suck, and that includes Harbaugh.
Henson was real bad, dude.
Drew Henson, yes,
They washed him out like a
horrible.
bad, like a baby with bathwater. They said, "We ain't gonna stop, pal. Keep flushing."
Yeah, yeah. So,
But Tom Brady
but
was he was the antichrist for quarterbacks coming out of Michigan, and when he and
right,
when
right, and he played behind Shula. That's what I said. He played behind Shula at Michigan because they knew that Shula was a better quarterback. Now, granted, Shula wasn't a good quarterback in the NFL, but he was a better quarterback at Michigan. So that's just the way.
but you know what? I'm glad Tom Brady finally. They're waiting for him to retire as a Patriot next fall or next summer. That's what the goal is. The goal is to get him to sign the 1 day retirement contract with the Patriots.
Yeah,
I don't think he's staying with the Raiders, dude. I don't think he is.
yeah, I agree. I agree that it's not going to be. It's not going to be a what do you call it? It's for all those that are tithing after Tom Brady. It's not going to happen. It's not
Mm-mm.
going to happen.
Nope.
Okay, no, it's not going to happen. So there you
And you
go.
know me, I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I'm a Patriots fan. And
Right.
people don't understand that it's not about just but he's the greatest quarterback ever to play the game. No, 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 no. He was part of a team that did great stuff to win
Exactly.
championships. That's what the quarterback does. It doesn't make him, the god of quarterbacks. It's not who he is. He was a part of a team before he became really, really well known, All of a sudden, everything changed for him. But
Yeah,
he was not the New England Patriots. And as soon as he left, all the bandwagoners left away.
that's right. That's right.
And that's what
So
pisses me off. Every time when we had Drew Bledsoe, when the Tudors brought him in, Parcells, oh, we got a great quarterback. He's going to be the best ever. Oh, God. Come on, man. Not again. Then when Tom Brady came in, they did the same freaking thing. When they brought in Jim Plunkett back in the 60s, early 70s, same
70s,
thing.
yeah. Yeah.
They tried to
And it
change
was,
my.
and like I said, it was Plunkett, and then it was Steve Grogan, and then
Yep.
it was
Danny Eason.
whatever the, yeah, Tony Eason,
Yeah,
and then it
Tony
was
Eason,
this
yeah.
guy and that guy. It doesn't matter. Pager quarterbacks suck for the most part, and
Yeah, they
that's why
have.
Mac Jones sucks, because again, it's a matter of the team does better as a team. That's why
Yes.
there is no I in team. Teams produce, not just particular people.
Yes, very good. And I'm sorry to hold you up. I don't want to keep Mr. Sarah up. Have a good night. I hope you feel better. Please
I'm
talk
gonna
to your
try.
dietitian and
I'm
make
gonna
sure.
check with my diet. I'm gonna check with my dietitian.
Please be careful, Jay. Remember, I
I
love you,
will.
my brother.
I love you too. I want to stick around for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, how are Jenny and Robert and your other one doing?
Well, Jenny's out in Cali with she's doing okay. Robert we saw for Thanksgiving, and with
That's
the
cool.
granddaughter doing okay.
That's cool. Right on. Please give Lil my best. Give her a hug for me,
I
and
will.
and tell the family I said hello, please.
I will. I'll say, hey, Doc says hi.
And hi from my bride.
Hi, honey. Go Raider. There you go. That's the Raider lady. That's right. That's the
That's
best lady.
my Raider. Yeah.
That's right. You take care, Doc.
Love you, man. Good night.
All right. Love you as well. That's my favorite Patriots fan. That's Doc. And now, and this needs a drum roll. We have on screen with us Mike effing Sarah, the stud that he is, on screen with us for the first time ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on screen, yeah. Am I actually on right now? I don't know. I can't see anything. I'm just seeing like a blank screen.
And Mike Sarah is working out like he always
No,
does.
I'm at my favorite place. I'm at the gym.
Yep. But that's okay. You're gonna
I'm
do something.
I'm glad you didn't have COVID, because my family just got over COVID. We all had it. I had it like back in September, and my wife and kids had it like past week. So when you were sick, I thought, that's why I said I was hoping you didn't have COVID. So
You talk about my cough?
yeah.
Yeah, I've had it. I have it get it every year, it seems like, but I'm getting rid of it. And I had some good calamansi juice, because we have a calamansi plant. It's like the little Philippine limes. They're fantastic. So we took the juice out of that. And when you don't have those, then I would have regular lemon juice with the honey, and it makes it better for the cough. And I'm taking good cough medicine, so it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm glad to see you on screen, you bastard. You look
Am
good.
I actually on screen? Okay, I didn't know. I can't see anything. I'm looking at a blank screen right now.
No, you're here. You're on screen, and you're looking good.
Hey,
Yeah,
tell Gabe I said hi, man. Tell him that Darren Waller, that guy's incredible. What a player.
Gabe says that Mike Sarah, my bestie. That's what he says. My bestie, Mike Sarah is here. There you go. So, Mike, I got to ask you, as a longtime Raider fan, and you are a longtime Raider fan, like I said, and you have your opinions, like I said. What do the Raiders need to do this offseason in order to be a team to be reckoned with? Okay, and remember, you can't do everything in one offseason, but you got this offseason. What are the first things that you do in order to make the Raiders competitive in at least a respectable team in 2024? And I'm going to leave it to you. I'm not giving you any ideas. This is your team. What do you want to do with it?
No, I say, first of all, keep AP. I think he's got the qualities of a good head coach. I know he's had this, learning curve right now, but it's tough. And I say keep him. get some quality coordinators. Obviously, go out and get a quality offensive coordinator. How about Hugh Jackson? Nobody ever talks about that guy. When that guy was the Raiders coordinator, that was the game we won 56-6 or something like that against Denver. He always had our offense going. And I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's doing. I know he's kind
He's
of
available because he just got fired. Mike, he's available. He just got fired again. So Hugh Jackson is available.
Who did he get fired from?
I don't know. I saw it in the news the other day. Hugh Jackson
I know Jack got fired.
Yeah, he got fired. So Hugh Jackson's available.
I don't know. Just a guess, but we just need to get him a good offensive coordinator. I'm not sure about keeping Graham. That's going to be a tough decision right there. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. I mean, right now the defense is looking decent. So you do that. Then go to the draft. I would say get your best available quarterback so that he competes with O'Connell, and more than likely O'Connell will just become the quality backup quarterback that we needed. And then we'll have a first string rookie quarterback, I would imagine, if we do draft them. And then I agree with what you said. Go out and get offensive linemen, defensive linemen, as many as we can get, because that's where we're the weakest right now in the trenches on both ends of the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's what kind of a quick thought here. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I wanted to refute a couple things that Peggy said, and I think she's great, love her, but I totally disagree with the Max. We needed Max. He didn't play 100%. He was about 70%, but 70% of Max, we all know, is better than 100% Tyree Wilson.
And I agree with that for a point, but I do think that was more Max wanting to keep his streak alive, and it was a me thing where it would have been better for him to take a week off and another week off and say the streak doesn't matter. The Raiders need me down the stretch against the Vikings, against the Chargers, against Indianapolis. That's when they need me. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go in against the Chiefs, because it was a tall order to beat the Chiefs anyway. It was a tall order. And that's why I said, get to rest as you need it.
Yeah, I looked at it differently. I looked at him like wanting to play for the team because he knew without him we had no chance. And we still did, because we sucked against the Chiefs. We just have not, Gruden's the only one who's been able to get us past the Chiefs. And that was basically because there was no crowd at Arrowhead during that time. That was the pandemic.
Well, actually, Kuhn, and I'm sorry, it's a little hard to hear you, Mike.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Yeah, well, trust me, you breathing hard is better. That means you're alive. That's a good thing. But the Kuntz is playing better. In fact, Kuntz is one of the reasons why that Mahomes got moved, and Nichols in that pass rush the other day. That's why Max got that sack, because other people were coming at Mahomes, okay? And it was Kuntz, and it was, Nichols kind of blowing things up, and Max finally got the sack, so that, the defensive line is playing better. They need to play over their heads from now. And that's why I said they do need more push from the middle, and they do need to have better participation. I think Kuntz can make it another year and will be a good. And for all those people that are pissed off at Wilson, I still think that Wilson will develop into a very good, not a Max Crosby, but a very good defensive end on the other side of Max Crosby.
Well, he's not 100%. His foot is still screwed up. I mean, that's just, you can tell. I mean, he just doesn't get off the ball.
Yeah.
And, once he's healed, which is going to probably take a year, I think he'll be better.
Give him a year to, like you said, I was going to say, Wilson is the guy that's playing injured, because it's kind of a cross between he's playing hurt and injured. His foot is not back to 100%, but he knows that he has to put out in order to play. Okay. Yeah. And I think that Wilson will be just fine once he gets a chance to rehabilitate that foot.
Yeah. The other thing I would do in the offseason, I still think, I know Peggy kind of went off on Jacobs a little bit. I still think Jacobs is obviously he's not an elite running back, but he's a very good running back. I say you sign him. I still think he's still the reason why the offense goes. When he goes, they go. And obviously in the second half, we just went against a great defensive coordinator, and the guy's a great offensive coordinator. And he just figured out a way to stop us, and he did. I don't think it was the fact that Jacobs was not cutting back or not seeing the holes. There just was nothing there. I mean, but he still made something out of nothing on a few plays. And I still think he's the best chance we have right now because it just seems like when he goes, the offense goes. Nobody can deny that.
Okay, now let me ask a question because I know that you are I know who you're a big fan of, and I'm not going to say his initials, okay? And he's gone. But okay, I know you're a big Josh Jacobs fan as well. But is Josh Jacobs worth a big contract again? And I think the answer to that is maybe not.
No, that's the key. You're right. You're right there. I don't know if I would pay him a huge contract, but if he'd be willing to take a 2 or 3 year contract that was reasonable, because he wants to stay on the team, I think we would do it. And I think that depends on AP staying and just the general overall state of the team. So.
Okay. So, but you're keeping Josh at a reasonable rate. You're getting help in the interior on the defensive line and the offensive line. I'm thinking. Yeah. You agree with me there? Okay. Well, good. See, Mike, Sarah, and I actually agree with something. Oh my God! The world's going to hell because we actually agree on something. Okay.
Yeah, and I have to clear up this whole thing with I'll just say his initials, DC, because I know you've always called me the DC apologist. I've always been a fan. I always thought he was a really, maybe not the best quarterback around, but I think he was. I think during the years when Gruden was there, I think he played his best football, and obviously that 1 year with Musgrave. I just don't think. Obviously with McDaniels, I don't think he gives anybody a chance, and that's why he pretty much fell apart. But I have to say, have to admit that he's not doing too impressive over in with the Saints right now. He's not playing very well at all. So maybe his time is up. Maybe he gave all he had to give. He's always been an average quarterback. I'm not going to say he's a great quarterback. I would have, if I was a Raiders, I probably would have kept him for one more year. Then you draft an O'Connell, and he plays underneath him, and develops him. And who knows what would happen? I still think Carr being a quarterback with the team we have right now, I think we probably would have won a few more games. But that's just my opinion.
That is true. If Derek Carr, and I know people are gonna like, oh my God, they're still talking about Carr. But if Derek Carr was our quarterback this year and not Jimmy Garbaggio, we would have a couple more wins. But it was the cost of that contract and the way that it was written that precluded that. Now,
exactly.
And just like people say, like Doc was saying that Brady's going to sign a 1 day contract with the Brady's going to sign a 1 day contract with the Patriots. He's going to retire a Patriot. That's going to happen. Derek Carr, if things continue, will sign a 1 day contract and will retire as a Raider. And that after his playing days in New Orleans, because he's not getting a lot of support down in New Orleans. And I have no problem overall with Derek Carr, but there are the times that when we needed Derek Carr to do what he needed to do, it wasn't happening. Yeah.
No, he pissed me off. Believe me, a lot. I was cussing at him, but he definitely pissed me off. But I think he still had a lot of comebacks. I mean, he had, I don't remember what I looked it up. It was like 38. I think it was like 20 some odd comebacks in the fourth quarter. So he has the ability to do that. The problem is that he doesn't. A lot of times the comebacks were because he wasn't playing good the whole game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, and Mike, like I said, I appreciate you getting your heart rate up with me. You always get my heart rate up when I'm talking about you as well. So it's a good mutual thing. And I mean this. I know you can't see me, but I mean wholeheartedly, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on screen because, you're always in the comments and we love you for it. And we appreciate you always being here because, again, I love the people that actually take time out and are the people that always come in and watch the shows and give the comments. And I thank you for being a true stalwart person I can always count on for that.
Definitely. And we don't agree all the time. We go at it, but that's the way we are. We both have that same type A personality.
That's right. Okay. Well, you continue to get better. I got to figure out a diet that'll help out my sciatica and my gout and my heart disease and my diabetes.
The gout is like your big toe pain, right? I mean, that's basically what it is, I think.
Well, most of the time it's in the toe. Mine is in the ankle.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
mine sucks because it's not in the toe, it's in the ankle, and it makes it hurt a lot more.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So
well,
I gotta deal with that. So hey, when you see me at a game, and if I'm on one of those scooters, and you understand why, the old man is broken down, I might not be dancing as much as I used to be on camera. I will still be there. I will still be cheering on the team. I just might not be as active as I was before.
Well, I was very proud of you during the draft when they chose Michael Mayer, and you went nuts. I saw it live, saw it happen.
Yeah. Well, hey, why not? It's my team, man. It's my team. And if you were there, you would have done the same thing. I know you would have.
Wait, I think that was a great pickup. The guy, I think he needs to be used more, and I think he will. Then.
And when we get our offensive coordinator that can figure out how to use the tight end and how to use the slot receiver more, it will be done, and our offense will execute a lot better. Trust me on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm ready. I say this year, everybody just relax. People are just, I can't believe people ragging on O'Connell and AP, and I'm thinking, this is a rookie quarterback who's only started 6 games. You got a rookie head coach. I just don't see what people are. I don't know what people are expecting.
Yeah.
We're not going to make the playoffs. It's unfortunate, but we're not going to make the playoffs. So we just got to ride the season out, see what happens, and like I said, I hope they keep AP. We'll see what happens.
I hope we do too, and I hope that all we do is we get better with the right personnel and the right coaching, and this team can come back and be above, like I said, with a winning record next year with the right personnel going. And that's all I ask, is that you get better. And I think we're going to do that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Captain, you have a good one. Good talking to you. Glad to be on. I'll try to make it on more often. This is the first time I just kind of.
Well, you're not camera shy. You're not camera shy anymore, Mike. You're good. And like I said, people say, who is that good looking bastard that's on camera? That's Mike Sarah. That's where it is.
There you go. All right, man.
Hey, all right, take care. Take care. Be well, Mike. Good hearing from you, brother.
All right, take care. Bye now.
All right. That's Mike Sarah. I'm glad he's on. Man, that's awesome. He's on camera, right? Yeah, I'm seeing like a moving Tyree Wilson. Okay, he's going to be moved around a bit. Okay, he's going to be moved around a bit. Maybe not gaining that 30 pounds of solid muscle, no, but he does have the quicks. He does have the ability. He does have the ability to muck up the passing lanes. Okay, and I think that can happen. I think that they're gonna say, this guy is an asset. We need to use him more often. And I think that can happen. We got about 14 minutes left. So if you want to come into the show, because we had Doc in the show, Doc was talking about my aches. This is not the Captain Jack tells everybody all his aches. I know it sometimes turns into that, and I apologize. I don't want it to be a Captain Jack bitches about being an old man. I'm sorry. But we do have football talk as well. Remember, tomorrow we are going to have, Peggy's going to be on the cage match with Asylum. And, the cage match with Asylum and Oakland Raiders Savage. Tomorrow we're also going to have the Wild Wild West show. Okay. And then Thursday, we're going to go back to our normal NFL Nation Live Thursday That's going to be at 6 Eastern. And then I'll have a show at 9 Eastern. So we're going to go back to the normal lineup there because it's not Thanksgiving. And then we'll see. But again, I'm not, trust me, I was every other. Did you see the show in Miami where I was coughing a lot? I was coughing more. So the bronchitis is mostly gone. I mean, I missed my my rehab last week because I was coughing too much. I did the show on Wednesday, and then Thanksgiving, I was just a coughing hack. Okay. And yeah, he was the head coach at Grambling State. Thank you, because we were talking about Hugh Jackson. He's available. He's available. If you want that. But all of these guys are getting paid to sit on their ass. And it's a vacation. Does Hugh Jackson want to come back? Maybe. Maybe. And Rudy, we don't need a cornerback. We got Jacorian Bennett, right? We got Hobbs in the slot. He's not an outside corner, but he's a decent slot corner. He's not the greatest. Get a cornerback in. We got Jones, the kid we picked up. There's our other cornerback, right? And like I said, with Coach Pierce is going to tell him, this is the way you play. You're not going to be a lacking person. Jones and Hall, we got corners. We don't need a corner. We need a stud defensive tackle. And if Tyree Wilson is one of those that we move over and we get another one, and maybe Byron Jones comes and plays up to his ability, maybe. And Bennett doesn't suck. He's a rookie. He doesn't suck. It's like saying Tyree Wilson sucks. He's a rookie. I think that I like what we got with Bennett. And if Gabe's still here, Gabe, what are the stats on the cornerback that was taken opposite Bennett, right? Because Bennett was the other cornerback on that out of Maryland. The guy you got out of Maryland, okay? He plays well. Jimbo Fisher. And Jimbo Fisher is making money. I don't think Jimbo Fisher wants to go to the pros. He's making money. I like being on vacation too. I'm on vacation. I just ain't making any money. I got to find a part-time job doing something. Seriously. Rudy, okay. Your opinion. Y-O. Your opinion. IMO, in my opinion, Bennett will be fine. Get it? You have your opinion. I have my opinion. And the truth is probably somewhere in between. We can agree on that, right? Right? Hey, friggin' my boy and I agreed on something, and we don't agree on a lot of things. And Amick Robert, and I like, and these are one things I didn't get a chance to talk about, was the comments made by Amick Robertson and pardon me. And thanks, Rudy. I'm glad we can at least agree on that. Amick Robertson, as well as Devontae Adams, said the Chiefs didn't beat us doing anything special. They didn't beat us doing anything special. They outplayed us, yes, because they're coaching. their coaching, and the players played what they needed to do under the coaches. They got Hall of Fame coaches. They got Hall of Fame coaches. And Andy Reid and Spags. Spags should be in the Hall of Fame once he retires. If he gets there, maybe. I mean, assistants sometimes don't get there. Assistants sometimes don't get there. But Spags is a Hall of Fame coach. So they have the coaching, right? And Dave Tobe is their special teams guy, and he's a great coach too, right? So if we get better coaching and get better personnel, we can do that. Trust me, I want a big physical cornerback. I like that, and I agree with you there. Our corners are undersized. I agree there, but Jones isn't undersized. He's big, and he's going to be playing more. He's going to be playing more because he's got the fire, and that's why he's out there. I think he's number 18. He's going to be playing more. And we have the off week, and we have the bye week to get him more coached up. So there you go. We are almost at the end of the show. I like the fact that Mike, Sarah, and I agreed on some things. It was good to see Mike, Sarah, and I thank you. There's my bronchitis. At least it was at the end of this show. China, I'm going to put you on real quick because I'm at the end of the show. I wanted to give you a quick we got about 3 minutes. I want to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And I'll put you on. I'm going to shut up. You got 3 minutes to say whatever the hell you want. I'm going to tell you I got to kick you out.
Okay. Let's see. We were talking about how many, what we need to do in the off season. Number 1, keep Antonio Pierce. Number 2, get everybody healthy, including Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson. Stop saying Tyree Wilson. It sucks. He's a rookie. Let him be. ALC 4. And I'm not talking about the dumb you know what over in New York City. He needs to learn the playbook a little bit more, or he needs to have a veteran quarterback help him with more of what to do. Let's see. What else am I thinking? Yes, we do need OC. Right. Let's see. Get our we do need an OC because we need to get our offensive line looking good again. Hell, get Max Crosby healthy because I don't know, because he's trying to, like I said earlier, said JJ Watt. If JJ Watt can come in and can play with a broken nose, Max Crosby can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say on that's a broken nose. That doesn't affect you doing your physical stuff. It's a broken nose. I get it. You're playing tough because you have a broken nose, but it doesn't affect you as a defensive person. I'm going to say. Go ahead, honey.
Or he also played with a broken hand, just like Robert Spillane's doing. That dude's re-sign him. Jesus, that man is just straight up dangerous. We do need some more help in the O-line. Like I said, we need to hire an OC. I can tell you right now, AP, every time I look at Antonio Pierce, I'm thinking drill sergeant. He's that's the no bullshit attitude. That's the old school Raider nation. That's the old school Raider coming out of him. And what really irritated me, what the hell was Roderick Teamer thinking driving drunk and being grown. What the hell was he thinking? Because this ain't the Josh McDaniels era. This is the Antonio Pierce era. Antonio Pierce don't play those kind of bullshit games.
Right. And the other thing is Teamer was a player that played under the last DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the guy that's with the Colts right now,
Mm-hmm.
who played a vanilla, and he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Asylum said it best. He wasn't thinking, and that's the problem. The point
Exactly.
is he's gone, and you put your finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
What was he thinking? He wasn't thinking. And the fact is that Antonio Pierce got rid of Teamer. He got rid of Marcus Peters.
Yep.
If you are not performing your
well.
ass ain't playing.
Exactly. Yeah, Marcus. Why did we sign Marcus Peters anyway? Because he ain't doing shit.
He wanted to make sure that his dad had a chance to wear a Raiders jersey with his name on it. And I'm serious. I think that's the only reason why he signed.
Yeah,
I think that's the only reason why he signed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honey, I hate doing this, but I got about 90 seconds. I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're my favorite hottie of the Army variety. Tell your husband he definitely outkicked his coverage on that one.
Right.
You take care of yourself. Quickly, one last word.
I was gonna tell you, I don't know if you heard that my great grandfather passed about a couple weeks ago. He was a Marine. And we did his military. We did a military funeral for him last Saturday.
Well, condolences, honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
94 years. He was so active, it wasn't even funny. Yeah. And I'm trying not to cry.
Don't cry. Stay well. I'm going to cut out because I got about 40 seconds. Take care, darling. Thank you for coming in. My best to you. Best to everybody. We will see you tomorrow for Wild Wild West. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your time.
Raiders.
There you go. All right, guys.